I'll never forget this. In 2007, I walked into this gritty old boxing gym in Philadelphia. It smelled like sweat and leather, like a proper fight gym. And I looked over to the ring and I seen two guys sparring. But one of them had his hands down and the other one was just blasting them in the face, kind of letting them tee off, like boom, boom. And I was standing there thinking, what the bloody hell's going on here? And the guy's trainer looked at my coach dead serious and said, oh, we're just doing some conditioning drills for his chin. And I remember thinking, does that really work? The more you get punched in the chin, you get used to it so you can take better punches. Like, can you actually condition your chin like a muscle and make it stronger? Well, it turns out that that kid wasn't building an iron chin, but instead he was building permanent brain damage. And if you're thinking about doing this sort of training, or you already are, for f***'s sake, stop. And in this video, I want to talk about the science of having an iron chin. And is it actually possible for you to build one? Or is it a complete myth? You'll also find out if there's anything that you can do to actually take a punch better, which there is, and we'll talk about that at the end. Or are you wasting time doing the training sessions that you're currently doing? But first, you need to understand what actually happens when you get punched, or if you get concussed, or even worse, knocked out. Now, from the 106 fights that I had in my career, I was wobbled and concussed around 7 times, and it was horrible. Now, a lot of people think that a knockout is about pain. They think, oh, I've got a great pain threshold. If I get punched, I can take it. Well, that's absolute nonsense. A knockout or even a concussion like I had is nothing about being tough. It's a biological short circuit. So I want you to think about it like this. Our brains is basically like a soft piece of jelly floating around in fluid inside of our hard bone helmet, your skull. When you get hit, your skull moves, but that jelly wants to stay in the same place. So what ends up happening is it crashes into the front and back of your skull, bouncing around back and forward. And it's that violent rattling inside of your bone helmet, if you like, that causes the concussion. And your brain can even swell up inside of there, which happened to me. And this causes long-term damage. So ask yourself this, can you condition that piece of jelly to be harder? And the answer is no. It's not like you can punch your bicep to make it tougher, or you're kicking a shin bone like they do in Muay Thai that creates microfractures that calcify and get harder. But unfortunately, we can't condition our brain like that. Every time you rattle it, you aren't making it stronger, you're actually doing more damage. I'm going to get onto the fun stuff about boxing in a little bit, but what I've just said, this actually brings me onto the scariest reality of boxing. And I call it the battery theory. Think of it like this. Your chin is a brand new iPhone battery. When you're 18, that battery is at 100%. You can walk through walls, you can eat right hands, you can keep coming forward. And we've seen fighters do this. Think about the Mexican style of fighter. Sometimes they're taking 10 hard punches to land one. But here is the data. Every single concussion, every single hard spar, every time you get rocked and take a good shot, this takes a little bit of that percentage of the battery life away. And the dangerous thing is, you don't feel like it's dropping. You feel fine at 90%, you feel fine at 80%, but then one day you get lower and lower. And what this is doing, it's removing that punch resistance that you might have once had. This is why we see legends of the sport, guys who you might have thought had granite chins for 15 years, suddenly getting knocked out by punches that wouldn't have even rocked them years earlier. And this is because their battery didn't just get weak overnight, it ran very, very low or even ran out. And the damage keeps on adding up. So if you're in the gym, hard sparring, or even letting the lighter guys in the gym punch you in the face because you might think, well, it's not doing any damage, it'll help toughen me up. You're totally wrong, mate. What you're doing, you're draining your battery for free. You're not even getting into a real fight or getting paid for this, and it's bloody stupid. So if we can't condition the brain, why do some people have better chins than others? And is there anything that we can do to take a better punch? Well, firstly, our brains moving around the way they do is part of our genetics. But a huge part of this is physics. You might have heard commentators say on fights, oh, he got hit right on the button. But where is the button? Well, it's right here on the tip of the chin. But why is it here and not on the forehead? Well, that comes down to leverage. Imagine your neck is the pivot point and your chin is the furthest thing away from the pivot. If you push your forehead, it moves back a little bit, but if you get hit in the chin, like down there or side, that's a massive lever arm there. And I can spin your head with way less force hitting you here than right up here. And it's kind of the same reason why it's dangerous getting hit on the temples as well. Even though it's higher up, it's off center. A hook to the temple causes the same violent rotation and will make your brain rattle around the skull. Now, this is why tucking your chin is the #1 defensive rule in boxing, because when you tuck your chin down to your chest, you're hiding that lever that people are trying to punch. You're taking away the handle that their opponent wants to grab to spin your head and try and knock you out. Leave your chin up in the air like this, and you're giving them a wrench, if you like, to shut off your brain. Okay, now enough about the bad news about how bad boxing is and how it can damage your brain. I want to tell you what you can do to increase your punch resistance, which you'll be able to do with the exercises that I'm going to give you. I just need to tell you quickly about one thing that's really helping my brain after I've been retired for so long, because as you may know, prevention is better than cure, but it's too late for me. I've been punched in the head thousands of times in boxing. So what I'm doing right now to try and cure my brain is a bunch of different things, like living a healthy lifestyle. But also what I'm doing is taking some supplements that is scientifically proven to help with cognitive function. That's helping my brain and also helping the cells in my body. And the 2 supplements that I'm taking, which I swear by, #1 is creatine, which is the most studied supplement in the world. Evidence suggests that the creatine monohydrate supplement is heavily helping with cognitive functioning in adults, especially in the memory, attention, and information processing speed. Why would we not want to have that? Then the other thing that I'm taking is pure NMN. What this does, it helps elevate my NAD levels. And as we get older, our NAD levels are declining. This is preventing us from having that energy that we might have once had when we were younger. And when I'm taking my pure NMN, which is 1 scoop under the tongue each day, this is helping elevate my NAD levels. And when I read the research about this, it's great. And this is why I'm doing this on a daily basis. And I want to quickly say one more thing on this. If you are going to get this, make sure you're using a legit company, because there's so much BS out there. I use DoNotAge.org, which is a research company that's obsessed with helping people with longevity and with brain health as well. And I'm so happy that they're sponsoring today's video. Now, if you want to get some of these supplements, or there's lots more on their website that are all great, I recommend you scan here or go to DoNotAge.org, and because they're sponsoring this video, they're going to give all my viewers 10% off at the checkout when you use code BOXING. So go check it out. Now, back to this video to train your bloody chin. I told you that you can't train your brain, right? But there is a muscle group that stands between you and a knockout. And if you train this, you can literally increase your ability to take a shot. And studies have been showing this on impact sports for some time, like American football, rugby, and even boxing. And what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you some exercises for this in a second, is your neck. This reduces the G-force your brain experiences when you get hit. Think about it, if your neck is like a cooked noodle all floppy like this, you get punched in the head, that head's getting snapped back. That brain is shaking around the skull violently. And it's that what is going to give you that damage and prevent you from taking a shot. You get concussed or even knocked out. But if your neck is like strong, like a tree trunk, think about Canelo Alvarez's neck or Mike Tyson's neck. When that punch lands, your head is not flopping all over like a noodle. Them neck muscles help absorb that shock in your brain. And I'll give you some exercises to get that strong in a sec. So I just want to say, if you're a boxer and you aren't training your neck directly, you really should be. And for this, you don't need any fancy machines. There are 3 main movements that you can do right now without any equipment that's going to be very beneficial. And I want to tell you what these 3 exercises are, but I want to just quickly talk about a fighter who is known about having a glass jaw. And the reason he's known for this is because he's been knocked out multiple times, even though the people who knocked him out was the likes of Canelo Alvarez, Danny Garcia, and Terence Crawford. But even though that lad's got that label, he was still a world amateur champion, an Olympic silver medalist, a Commonwealth Games champion, and a 2 times lightweight world professional boxing champion. And he's still known as the guy with the glass jaw. And I'm sure that you're going to know who this lad is. Can you guess? Well, it was Amir Khan. Now, I want to say to people who say he's got a glass jaw, if he's got a glass jaw, how did he have so much success in boxing? Well, I'll tell you how. Because what he had was unbelievable footwork, which is the #1 defense in boxing. That helped with his defense. He could get out of the way of the punches, apart from when he come up against Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. But also, having unbelievable footwork doesn't just help with your defense, it helps with the speed of your punches, the power of your punches, counter-punching skills, and your overall conditioning. And Amir Khan was unbelievable at this. And he was also one of my Great Britain Olympic teammates too. And we would always be working on footwork when we were training for the Olympics. And this is why I had success in the Olympics as well, because I had great feet. Now, I recommend that if you train boxing, you should have great footwork. And to get great footwork, you need to be working on the specific things for you to help you improve your feet. Now, I've created the Boxing Footwork Academy, where it's stacked with every drill and tip and technique that you need to improve your footwork. I highly recommend you can scan here, or after watching this video, go to boxingfitness.com/footwork. The links are below, and I will show you what you can do to improve your feet. It's a game changer. Anyway, let's get on with these 3 exercises that you can do to help strengthen that neck and help you take better punches, which don't get punched, move your feet and you'll be all right. The first one is a weighted neck curl. Lie on a bench with your head hanging off, hold a plate or a dumbbell to your forehead, tuck your chin to your chest, and this builds the muscles in the front of your neck, the one that stops your neck from snapping back when you get hit. But before you start adding weight to this, it's important that you do it multiple times and get your neck stronger with no weight at all. If you think the heavier the weight that you can do, the stronger your neck is, that's incorrect. I want you to slowly build up this so you can get a stronger neck over time. You're not going to get it after doing this one time. So starting off with no weight, getting your neck muscles used to this movement, and then start adding on light weights and then building up. Number 2 is isometric holds. And you can do this at your desk like I am right now, where you're going to put your hand against your head and push it hard, and I'm resisting my head from going that way, and I'm pushing into it. So I can do that, hold it for 15 seconds, and then do the other side. We can also do the front of my head, where I'm pushing forward and pushing back, then the back of my head as well. Holding these for around 15 seconds at a time, getting used to that isometric hold. And number 3, what I'm doing all the time now, even though I don't spar boxing anymore, more to get me looking better in better shape, is heavy shoulder shrugs. But just know that your traps are the base of your neck. Look at Mike Tyson's traps. Look at Canelo Alvarez's traps. This helps stabilize your entire head structure, and this is a must do when you're training. Think about it like this. For every pound of strength you add to your neck, you're building yourself some sort of insurance to getting knocked out or getting concussed. Now, one final hack that I want to give you to help you take a shot even better, and you've probably got one of these in your bag right now, it's your mouth guard. But not just wearing your mouth guard in case you bust your tooth or your lip. That's not what they're for. The secret is making sure you're biting down if you're taking a shot, which I don't recommend you take a shot. Move your feet, like I said. When you bite down hard on your mouthpiece, you lock your jawbone into your skull, and you're turning your head into like one solid unit rather than the loose parts with a wide open mouth with your jaw floating everywhere. So remember, bite down on that mouthpiece, engage the neck muscles, keep your eyes open, and this is the only way that iron chin exists. Let me just say one more thing. If you do spar, there are a few things that you should be doing to make sure you get the most out of each session. Now, I've created this great video right here. If you click here, it'll take you through to that video. But also, if you click here, it'll take you through the footwork program. So get the footwork program and learn how to spar.